Okay. Hello, everybody. We are live. Myself, Jennifer Evans, aka Zen Jen, and my wonderful co host, Claire Oatway. Welcome, Claire.
Hiya!
um, Today, we wanted to jump on and we want to really inspire our listeners or anybody that's watching these videos. We're really about inspiring others, especially women, to sort of go after their dreams, to move forward, to take that leap into the unknown. And what are we celebrating today, Claire?
Well, the time's flown by, but we've hit
Mm,
6 months. We have been broadcasting Exponential Potential for 6 whole months. So every week we've been bringing, different guests, different content, and and learning the craft of podcasting.
mhm.
It's been good fun. But I can't believe that 6 months has just flown by and we're here. And I don't know about you, but every time I record a new episode or I record a new interview with a guest, I'm just amazed, firstly, at the generosity of people, and then
Mhm.
also what they're bringing, their depth that they're bringing, and different tools that they're bringing to help inspire everybody. And what I what I love most about that is that they see our mission and they want to help.
Yes, yes. And our part of our mission is to really help others elevate their lives in their business, in their career, in their relationships, elevate how they feel about themselves and show what's possible.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It
Yes.
is. And I think so many of us can be really stuck, and that's something that I help clients with, is when you're really stuck. And the same for you, Claire. If a team or a business or an executive is stuck,
Yeah.
it's giving them the tools of helping them move forward. And I think with this, we just decided, right, we're going to do it. It was creating a podcast and being seen is a
I
big
should say
step.
we are live at the moment, so it's probably a little bit jittery. Um,
Yes.
but we're
Have we got a bit? There we go. I don't know whether that's my internet connection. It might be that we've got a bit dodgy weather here. That's the thing with live. Hey, I'm keeping fingers crossed for fiber coming soon. But yes, I think really taking that leap and where you put your focus on about taking that leap as well. When you're putting yourself out there, whether that's stepping into a new role in a career, whether that's being seen on social media because you want to move your business forward, whether that's even stepping into a new relationship,
yeah,
it
yeah,
or stepping into a new self. It's looking at where do you put your focus and where do you put your energy for that.
yeah. And it's easy, this has come up regularly in our conversations, but it's easy to see the times that we're in. There's a lot of change that's going on, but it's easy to feel done too in terms of the change, as opposed to actually seeing this is a brilliant moment to reframe your business, reframe where you're going, kind of really tap into who you are to build up your own resilience and response and what
Mm-hmm.
next? What next?
Mm-hmm.
Where do I go?
Mm.
And realize you've got the power to do that.
And I think one of the reasons is to make it fun. One of the easiest ways when you want to do something that's feels like a big leap is, how do I make this more fun? Somebody said good morning on Facebook. Good morning. I'm not sure who it is because I can't see from here, but thank you for saying good morning. Lovely to have you here. Um, but yes, I think you want to make it as much fun as possible. And we did that by joining forces. And we do have so much fun. I mean, it's clear. The feedback that we get is a lot of people love the energy that we have together.
But and that's what we try to do in terms of the topics as well. And we've hit some really heavy topics, and
Mm.
I've just you know we've just finished editing the episode that comes out this week, and it it focuses on recovery from addiction, and some really dark areas. But there's so much light that's hidden away in that. There's so much hope. There's so much connection and love and joy, and we want to bring that through. So let's think about some of those really positive aspects. And you mentioned that we bring through fun in what we do, and I think one of the other things that we do is that we give up permission to be learners. It's just like you can tell we are not pretending to be some multi-million media enterprise. We are learning the tools, we are learning the editing, we're doing the editing, we're working out around the publishing and SEOs, and of course we're applying what we know from our own businesses. But you often say hashtag not perfect. And that's where we come from.
Yes. Yeah, I love that we don't give ourselves permission to learn. We stop, because that's what life's about. We're constantly evolving, constantly learning. And I love that, giving yourself permission for it to be not perfect, to make mistakes, and to allow yourself to learn along the way. And that just feels really freeing. Yeah. So whatever you're doing in terms of a big leap, we really encourage you to find ways to make it interesting, to make it fun, to collaborate, to look at the positives and the benefits of why you're doing what you're doing. So sometimes taking the focus of you and that negative self-doubt and self-talk, and really look at the reasons why you want to do it. So yes. So shall we share some of our... Oh, go on. Sorry, Claire.
I was going to say, and I want to say as well that, one of my favourite proverbs around collaboration is, if you want to go fast, go it alone. If you want to go far, go together. And one of the reasons why I think this works and why I feel like I'm thriving, and I see you thrive, is around the partnership dynamic, around the vulnerability that we share together. Many of the people that listen to the podcast don't necessarily, well, I don't think they hear the conversations that go on about our lives. It's like, actually, here are my hopes, here are my dreams, this is where I want to be, this is where I'm feeling stuck right now. And just having a trusted ally that you can kind of ground all that and then move forward. Just need to pause, let it wash through, and then move forward together again. And I think in many different relationships, particularly in the workplace and often in romantic relationships, you don't always open up to that level of vulnerability, that you don't always introduce in the kind of weaknesses or doubts, and that's because you worry about what other people will think or the judgments that come through. So to have an ally that you can do that with, to explore that with, and be both committed to move forward from, as opposed to being stuck in a pity party or in a loop there. But it's I think that's definitely one of my strongest recommendations to anybody that's looking at a new enterprise or a new project, is have a think about who you can bring in, who you can just be accountable with, and grow with along the way.
100%, Claire. Yes. It makes it so much more, it makes it so much easier. So shall we dive into a couple of our favorite episodes? And anybody that is saying hello from Facebook or anything else, if you could just say who you are, because we can't see who you are, it just says Facebook user. So I'd love that we've got people watching live. That's awesome. Please say hello, so we feel that we've got some company. So I'm going to share screen, Claire, as well, so that we can actually dive in. And see if I can share screen. See, hashtag not perfect. How do I do it?
So we've been
I saw it earlier.
We've been talking about the range of episodes and topics that we've been covering in the last 6 months, and we've covered everything from careers and networking and social media profiles in kind of some of the business aspects and creativity, and so on. There's been quite a breadth, and if you haven't seen the content, Anchor, which is now Spotify, has got a really great way of listing all of the different episodes that we're covering, and also there's what we've just learned. There's an opportunity to build out a website based on your podcast. So we're building that up at the moment to give you more descriptions, to make it easier to access some of the gifts that come through, and that's what we're going to be looking at now. Oh.
Yes. Can you
Brilliant.
You see the screen?
I can see that there is a screen.
Oh, okay. Hang on a minute. Let me just make that bigger.
Hey. Whoa.
Whoa.
I feel like we're in a
that's
70s.
psychedelic. That didn't work. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay.
Oh.
Okay, maybe we can't share screen. I know. Can you see it? No. Stop screen. No. So we can't share screen. I'm sure we can. We see, this is why. But this is the first time we've used StreamYard while we're sharing a screen. So it says to share screen. Let's share it again. So can you see that, Claire, or not really? We just
it's on a different screen. Have you got the exponential potential around it somewhere else? Oh, there we go. Yes,
can you see? And so can you see it properly? Perfect. Okay, so 27 episodes and 28 just about to go live tomorrow, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So we've changed all the artwork as well, and I'm really proud of the artwork. So should we take a couple of episodes that we feel were really powerful or favorite for some reason?
Well, so one of the episodes that I want to shout out about first is the one with Karen, because I just feel so much warmth and gratitude for Karen Yankovic. She is a goddess when it comes to LinkedIn, and so she runs a program that helps you to understand your LinkedIn profile and also help you understand professional reputation management, really. And I met her a few years ago, and Jen, you actually went through the program after me.
Yes.
And that's how we connected. But Karen's just been absolutely fantastic. She, with her podcast and with her audience, she describes our episode as a picture on the fridge that your kids have done, because it's so cool, and she's so excited for us. But in terms of content, and she describes LinkedIn and what's happening with the algorithms and how to leverage relationships and how to be the boss of you, it's just pure gold content.
Yeah, she's all about helping women really reach their potential in their businesses, and connecting with people. So anybody that wants to tune in on that one and learn more about LinkedIn and what Karen does, that's episode 11.
Yeah, and she's offered to give people, a quick run through of their LinkedIn profile, and I think that's so valuable, because you don't always see yourself how others might see you. So she's always really objective and practical, I think, in terms of what next, without being too salesy.
Yeah, and the links on all our links are on Spotify for each episode. I think one of my favorite, if I go back to actually one early on, one of my favorites is episode 3, discovering what you really want. And I love this episode. This is an episode of myself and Claire. And I love this episode because we really delve into how you discover what you want. Because so many of us don't know what we want or what's even possible for us. And it gives some really good tips and tools of how do you discover that? How do you delve into and really see what lights you up? So yeah, that's one of my favorites, episode 3. What about one of your episodes with you yourself, or shall I choose that one, Claire? Is that a bit tricky for you to choose?
Oh God, I'm really curious. You choose.
Okay. One of my favorites with you was power and presence. Here we go, episode 9, power and presence. And that was, Claire was brilliant on this because it was talking about not only in the workplace and as a boss or as a team member, but also at home. And she gives some really amazing insight into how you can feel and be powerful and empowered, but not over assertive, not aggressive, still staying in with your femininity, your feminine energy, and how to create that. And it was, I love that episode. Claire, have you got anything that you wanted to add onto that one?
That power one, I really enjoyed it, and I love talking about power because I think too often it gets tainted with kind of real masculine energy and dominance in a way, as opposed to kind of power energy within you. And I think, as women, we can claim power. We've got it within us. We have so many different sources, whether it be in terms of our relationships, in terms of our physical beauty, in terms of our kindness and spirit. There are so many elements that give us, power to be us. They're like when you watch I love awful films and blockbusters, but you have all these superpowers, don't you? Kind of these Jumanji, kind of here's superpowers, vulnerability cake. It's my vulnerability too, I've got to say. But kind of you have these superpowers that these heroes are wandering around with, and we can easily relate to that in a gaming sense. But actually, we have so many different powers within ourselves. So let's get to be comfortable with those and exert them and use them to keep moving the world forward.
And I love that because that's a great segue into one of my favorite guests, although it's really difficult to pinpoint a favorite guest because all the guests that I've interviewed, I've absolutely loved, and they've all brought so much to the podcast. As you mentioned before, they're always so generous with what they have to offer. And one of my favorites is it with Jennifer Huff. And talking of superpowers, we talk about the multi-dimensional DNA of human superpowers to actually zone in and help us realize all of us have superpowers within our DNA. And this goes really deep, it's really profound, and it's spirituality meeting science. And Jennifer was so generous, we actually broke it down into 2 parts, and that's episode 17, part 1 and part 2. And that was profound, and I just sort of gave Jennifer the floor, really. It was an incredibly, I think that was the most profound episode we've had since we started.
So confession time, that I listen to your recordings when I'm driving around. It's just it sounds like some sycophantic love fest. But actually I do, that's when I tend to listen to your recordings and give them my attention, and I really enjoyed that episode. you start off thinking, what the hell's this topic? But
Mhm.
actually, it's hugely empowering and invigorating. And one of the other ones that I really love that you've done was
Mm.
around creativity.
Mhm.
And
Was that
just-
with Laurie Ritchie?
yeah, with Laurie, that was just so much fun. And as I
Yes.
say, kind of, I wish I could have watched that as a video as opposed to listening to it, because you both just sound so vibrant, and Laurie brings her whole force, her whole excitement, her
Mhm.
positivity, her can do. She brings that in and makes you realize that you have got a creative spark. And you guys
Mhm.
are talking about uh, um, creativity and how you stack the dishes in the dishwasher and just taking
I know.
different approaches. And actually, that's that's how many good ideas are formed, is just have a go, alter
Do
something
something
a little bit
different.
different.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, that I love doing that episode as well. And actually it's good to look at these episodes because I can see, talking of hashtag not perfect, I can see that where the way we lay it out in Spotify when we're editing is not the
yeah.
same as that appears on on the public platform. So we will change that, make it easier to read for everybody. So
Yeah, we are like, I often describe us as aunties in the back of the party who are a little bit tipsy, and they're like, oh, yeah, you do that, do that, do it. And but sharing, but also kind of, I think, with the aunties at the buffet table, just like layering on extra food. Is like, no, have a bit more of this, have a bit more of that, have some of that, have some of that, go on, another bit of cake.
okay, so I strongly recommend, as always, to really go and explore our episodes and see what resonates. And as Claire says, listen to it in your car, listen to it while you're, doing chores around the house. Listen to it wherever, if you've got headphones, you can get your headphones on. So I really do
Yeah,
recommend that you have a listen. What we got coming up for the
yeah,
future? So, well, first of all, let's talk quickly about April. About April, we have, it's all about new beginnings and new starts. I don't know whether we've frozen. Have we frozen, Claire? I might have frozen a bit. Oh, there we go. Have I frozen? This remind. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I can
I'm
hear you, I
back.
can hear you. Yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
I feel like my mum being on Zoom. Can you see me? No, mum. I can see your shoulder.
Dear.
um, but yes, in April we've got new. It's all about new beginnings and fresh
Yeah,
starts. So we won't go into too much detail, but all about fresh start, making those changes, moving the energy in line with spring. What
yeah.
else have we got coming up, Claire?
So we've got courage and confidence coming up in May.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'm interviewing somebody with a really strong HR and leadership background around, what you can do to create an environment that helps courage to come forward. And that's it's probably going to be a bit technical. I'll try to avoid it when we actually have the conversation, but I think it's something that's often missed. Often as leaders, as if you're managing a team, you feel like you've got to control and kind of get the best, be most productive, be most
Mm-hmm.
efficient. Um, and you can sometimes neglect the culture aspects, the environment aspects, and giving people space and courage to challenge, to offer their new ideas, to tell you when you've got it wrong or when it's at risk, um, and also the courage to be themselves. Because I think
Mm-hmm.
if people, well, let's put it a different way. If you're carrying around and wearing a mask of expectations, it's actually quite exhausting. And so you're not
Mm-hmm.
being your true full self. You're not bringing all of you to the table. But for many people, they don't have the courage to be authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it could be because they kind of, maybe don't believe that they're worth the the worth, the respect, the love, unless they fit in with a particular mold. So I'm really looking forward to that, to look at how you can shape the environment around you to help everybody else to show up, to fully live their lives too.
Yes, we've got some really fantastic super guests coming on. One of my favorites, I know, for New Beginnings will be an episode with Christine Powers, which will be not published on, I think it's the middle of April. And I know that our episodes that myself and Claire do were going to be really juicy. And just one last thing I want to share with you before we sign off is we are going to be more streamlined. So, we want to try and stick to 35 minutes within our podcasts. We are going to be asking more questions with our audience. We were going to be doing some polls because we want to bring you what you want to hear. We want to bring you what's most beneficial for you to really thrive in these times of change and uncertainty. And also, we want to get more intimate and connect with our audience. So we are creating a members only club, and we are going to be sharing some really juicy tools, resources, things, strategies, things that both myself and Claire share with our paying clients, as well as live Q&As. So watch out for more information on that as we start to build it. And we also have a website, Exponential Potential Podcast.com. I have to check that, but yeah. And there you'll see all our episodes as well. So anything else you want to add, Claire?
I think, just really want to encourage people to keep an eye on the website, because as we do start to launch into the subscription, we're going to start, really loading up. We already have some great content week in, week out that comes from our guests and from ourselves. But I think what I'm most excited about is actually being able for people to be able to dive into the website and then go, right, this is how I'm feeling. Let's grab a bit of this, let's grab a bit of that. And we've covered the range of topics, which is really quite a broad range of topics that we've covered so far, and what we've got to come is even more exciting. But also we have a range of different energies in terms of the guests. So some, John, for example, is really calm. It's John Rice, talks about saboteurs. He's got such a calm approach, but positive and nurturing. You've got Ken, who, if he brought his own cheerleader buttons, he'd be like, yeah, come on, let's do this. Almost like, he's the, I guess, well, he is American. You can imagine him sitting on his settee and like cheering you on from the side, like you're his favorite football team. It's like, come on, guys, you've got this. He's got such a, again, very strong, positive force. But that's what I find quite special, is that we do have that range of people, and for our audience, they're going to be far reaching.
Yes, absolutely. So thank you for joining us. I think we might have got stuck again. I'm not sure if that's myself or Claire. Might be my end. Being in Italy has it's mostly beautiful and wonderful, but the internet is a little unstable at times. So it looks like we're ending the broadcast. Thank you very much, and everybody, for watching, and we'll see you again soon.